Hey y'all, how's it going? Am I live? No, Velvet. I am. I got back. I got back not too long ago. Actually, I got back not too long ago. I Good trip though. Good trip. Fun trip. Good trip. Fun trip. Good trip. Fun trip. I've been flying all day. I've been flying all day, and I'm not gonna lie. I do get a bit motion sick, right? Which makes which I don't mind flying. Like I've never really had a problem with flying, but the turbulence kicks my ass, dude. The turbulence whoops me. No direct flight. So I had a direct flight out there. I did not have a direct flight back, right? There was a direct flight back. It existed, but it left at like 7 in the morning. And I was just like, dude, like, because I knew I was like going out with the peeps on Saturday night after the protest. And I was like, there ain't no way I'm getting to the airport in time to leave at 6:30 in the morning or something like that. It was crazy. I was like, it just ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I booked a noon flight, right? And then got all screwed up because of the TSA. So had to deal with that whole situation, right? If you're wondering if there is ICE in JFK, there 100% is ICE in JFK. ICE checked my ID. Dude, I don't know where they're getting these ICE folks from. I truly don't know where they're getting them from. But the guy who checked my ID, there's no way he was 22 years old. Right? There's no way he was 22. And there was a girl we saw in there as another ICE agent as we were walking up. And I swear that girl looked like 16 years old. Like she didn't look old enough. There's no way she was old enough to get a drink at the bar. No fucking way. And she was in the airports with ICE everything on. She was a fucking child. But no, at JFK, they are checking your IDs. Like when you go into the TSA line, there wasn't a single TSA agent checking IDs. It was ICE all the way across, right? I flew out of Terminal 8 and there wasn't a single TSA agent checking IDs, right? Now, TSA was behind them doing all the bag checking and yelling at you for having water or whatever, right? But like actually checking the IDs, it was all ICE. And they were at like kind of the front of the lines. Yeah, so it was whatever to me. Like I'm not concerned, right? Like I didn't see them do anything. Someone should check ID for ICE. You're 100% right. They didn't bother me. I didn't see them bothering anyone. They were just kind of there, you know? So I'm not saying there was like anything like super negative. Like to be completely honest with you, as a flyer, as somebody that was flying, right? Like at least they're doing something that's helpful, you know? As opposed to their normal making things worse, you know? So Yeah. Someone said amazing how they act without masks on. It's 100% too. Like, yeah, without masks on. First of all, you see why they're wearing masks, right? They're wearing masks because they have the most unintimidating faces that exist. Right? Like a couple of those ICE agents in the airport, like I was like, I feel like I need to get you into like a good college program. You know, like I wanted to, it was almost like they were at the age that like I wanted to mentor them, like a father, you know? Which is crazy, but it like wasn't inaccurate. You know? Like it was seriously like these are children. These are literal children. You know? Oh. It's really weird. It's really weird. I don't know. Like I said, they weren't a problem. The TSA lines actually today were just fine. I think the lines for regular TSA were about 40 minutes, 50 minutes for JFK. And for TSA pre-check, I mean they were 10 or something like that. So it's not like they weren't crazy. They weren't like it was a week ago. So, but it was my first time in the city. First time in the city. Never been in New York City before. That was my first time. It was super fun. I enjoyed it immensely. Got to meet up with a whole bunch of people. You know, like really, really fun. Had a great time. Like we went out and the protest was crazy. The protest was wild. I'm sure that so many of you guys went to No Kings protests, across the entire United States. Something like, I think there was like 8 to 9 million people. Record. If you went to a protest on Saturday, just know you're gonna go down in history. You'll be in the history books, right? Largest protest in American history. 8 to 9 million people. It's wild. But in New York City, it was just another level. You know what I'm saying? We marched from like Central Park down to Times Square. It was a hell of a march, dude. It was a hell of a march. I got some conversations, talked to some really awesome protesters, got some interviews with them. So that'll be being released in content very soon. So you guys will see some of the interviews I got to get into and stuff like that, which were just absolutely amazing. The police were not a problem. I talked to a couple of the NYPD officers. They didn't. It wasn't much of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just kind of standing there. I mean, they were out and about, but they were just standing there, you know? So. So yeah. Scott said, was the ICE female officer, was she too old for Trump? Yes, I said she looked about 16. So yes, Scott, way too old for Trump. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. It was so funny. The first person I talked to was this older lady, and she was handing out little flyers for No Kings. She was like handing them out to people and stuff, right? And she was like, "Have you?" And she's like, she was 80 something. She was much older, and she was just so happy to be out there. She handed me a little flyer about No Kings. She's like, "Have you heard of like No Kings?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." She's like, "Well, and she starts explaining to me. I was like, "Ma'am, I came all the way up from Florida just to be here for this, you know." And she was like, "Oh my goodness, that's so amazing." And like she was just in awe. Like it was great. Oh yeah, that she was 80 something, and she guaranteed she protested Vietnam. Like, no questions asked. Right? Like, she was probably at the DNC in Chicago in like the 70s. Like, she's been to all of it. You know what I'm saying? She's been to all of it. And yeah, it was really adorable. She was very, very sweet, and she was just out there just handing out flyers, just being happy to be there. There was they had entire like choirs that were just like anti-Trump. Like they had like, oh my God, it was so much stuff. I had a couple young communists try to convert me while I was there. You know, you guys probably know Matt. A lot of you guys know Matt Politics. He was with me and we got stopped. Oh, there you go. Here's Matt right there. Politics with Matt. There he is. And we got stopped by a couple young communists who they had some convictions. I'll tell you that, man. They had some conviction. And I give them credit for that, right? I give them credit for having some conviction. But they're trying to explain like what communism is. They're trying to explain what communism is to me and Matt. And Matt and I are just like, we're trying so hard not to like burst these kids' bubbles, man. So we're just sitting there and they're talking about how, you know, about rising up, and it was full like Marxist Leninism stuff. And we're just like, yeah, guys, like we did that. Like, you know, we understand what you guys are talking about. Like, and they just kept going and going and going. And they were like, you guys just need to make sure that you're getting more involved. And I remember Matt just being like, you have like no idea how involved we are. Like, like you have no idea, like what like the level of involvement that you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, but it was cute. It was funny. It was funny and it was cute. So I'll give it to them. They were maybe like 20 years old, right? And they had some convictions, man, and that's good. I'm happy that they were out there, you know. I actually did an interview with one kid. Hey, Mia was out there. Mia actually helped me videotape what I'm about to just talk about right now. There's Mia. Mia helped me videotape it. And yeah, these kids, they were high school kids from like the area who were organizing walkouts and rallies for like teenagers and stuff like that. And I just asked the kid, like, hey man, like you wanna, you wanna jump on camera and talk for a bit. And man, when I tell you this kid, I think he said he was like 16. This kid was a fucking natural. Like I handed him the mic and that kid was he just went on and on and on and on and on. It was really impressive. It was really impressive for someone that young. And I told him that too. I was like, you need to like foster this, man, because not everybody is that good in front of a mic just naturally. You know what I'm saying? So we got a future in front of us, man. Those kids were out there those teenage kids were out there rallying too, man. And it was really dope. It was really dope. Yeah, it was really cool. But that'll be out in a video soon. A lot of the stuff, okay, I got some great conversations, and they'll be out in video soon. They'll be out on my podcast. They'll be out on all sorts of stuff like really, really soon. So, yeah. But I figured I was sitting at home and I got home and I've been flying all day and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come say hi to y'all and like talk to y'all for a bit, hang out with you guys for a bit, maybe take a conversation or two also. We'll see. That just depends on how, if you guys want me to or not. TikTok seems to be building over here. My YouTube portrait is not. No one's over there even talking, so we'll see how that goes. So if we get people in here and people want to chat and talk and see some debates and participate and do all the fun stuff, then we'll get it going. If it's a little slow because I didn't actually plan this live, that's okay too, and we'll bullshit. Either way is fine. Either way is fine. We'll just see how it plays out, right? We'll just see how it plays out. Guys, I can see how much the chat is participating over there, okay? If nobody's chatting, I can see it. You guys don't get to hide it from me. All right. Unlike on TikTok, YouTube shows me the chat rate. All right. So if no one's over there participating, I know it. Where's Ari? She's in the shower. I told her when she got out and when she got done, she could jump up on the panel and come hang out. Yeah. But actually, I'm planning some really new stuff. We're gonna start having some fellow creators up here with me to do this stuff a few nights a week, I think. So you guys know I do my live with Ari on Sundays. I believe Matt is gonna start doing a live with me one of these days, like one of the days of the week, and we're just gonna keep that consistent for a while. And then I have some ideas. I think I'm going to include some other people in for one other day too. So we'll see. At least one other day. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. Yeah, Matt and I have talked about it. We're going to do some stuff together and just try to give you guys another different look. I started out, having co-hosts and stuff like that. And then I stopped, and I'm kind of wanting to go back to it a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with it. We'll see. We'll just kind of see how it plays out. Anyways, if you still support Trump, you can call in on the number that's above my head, or you can join the guest request box. Either way. Someone called earlier, but I wasn't ready to talk to people, so whatever. I see a bunch of little crybabies in the chat, so I know you guys are. I know you guys are around. We'll see if you guys actually have the balls to call in. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta talk to Matt, but we're gonna do one day of the week. I'm thinking either Mondays or Thursdays. We'll see which day of the week it is. Should be fun. I think I'll still keep Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and I'll just do solo shows. And then I don't know. I think I might do something just like a temporary thing, maybe just like a month-long thing or a 2-month thing. I'm considering it. I'm not sure yet. It just depends on how it works out. But I'd kind of like to just feature. Maybe like a black and brown creator, somebody who's maybe trying to build up their platform and stuff like that, and just feature, feature a black or brown creator, that is trying to build up their platform, that's trying to, get some more views and stuff like that, and kind of just have them on my platform once a week. I'm thinking, so we'll see. I don't know. I have quite a few ideas. So, you called and you didn't answer. Yes, sir. Because every time you call, I get ready to answer the phone and you hang up. Because you's a bitch. No. So no, we're going to have some new people up there. If you guys have people that you think would be really good to come up on my panel, that'd be really good to come hang out. Yeah, let me know. Maybe we can hook something up. Let me know. Maybe we can hook something up. Who knows? I'm looking for a lot of new content right now. I'm looking for a lot of new people. So if you guys are seeing videos out there you'd like me to stitch or respond to, send them my way. I know I'm notoriously bad for not answering messages, but I'm trying to be better. So if you guys see some content or you guys see some stuff, then yeah, then 100% will then yeah, send it my way. Feel free. My inbox is open. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. So just send it over my way. Or if you are, I don't know, maybe we'll see. I don't know. I look good. That's good. I'm tired. I'm surviving over here. All right. Mods, get rid of the Snyder 9684 guy. If he wants to talk to me, then he can come and talk to me. I'm tired of him whining, trying to debate in my chat. He can excuse himself for the rest of my life. Hello, how are you?
I love chocolate, but I can't eat it or else I'll get fat. But it's so good.
Are you that crybaby little bitch that was in my chat? Oh, I think that was the crybaby little bitch that was in my chat complaining about me not answering the phone, by the way. Have I ever tried to connect with Johnny Palmodessa? I've been on Johnny's live. Johnny's been on my live. Johnny and I have been on each other's lives many times. Yeah, Johnny and I are not unfamiliar with each other. Yeah, Johnny's cool. Me and Johnny are tight. Yeah, Johnny's just been busy. Johnny's just been busy. He's busier than I am. Yeah, we're kind of dangerous together. Like they get trash talked really hard when we're together. I doubt Johnny hangs with condescending people. Johnny has perfected condescending. What are you talking about? That is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Johnny took condescending and took it to another level. Okay? I love it. It's amazing. All right. Johnny makes me look like a not condescending person. What are you talking about? Johnny fully elevated condescending. Melvin, thank you so much for the $5. So thanks for the info about the rally. I was losing faith in youth, but you, Ari, Matt, Erica, Hector, and others give me hope and drive to keep selling my gear. Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you got. I don't know if we're considered. I don't know if that's considered. I don't know if we're considered youth. I don't know how old. I don't know how old Hector is. Yeah, I don't know how old Hector is, but I don't know if I would consider that the youth that you're looking for, just to be honest with you. Okay, maybe Hector's youth. Thank you so much, Melvin. I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe Hector's youth. The rest of us are not. I don't know if we're considered youth anymore. Yeah, so he's youth. He's yeah, Matt. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Freaking Mia was giving Matt so much shit all day about being like old. And it was like, dude, like Matt is like barely older than me. Like barely. Hello, how are you?
You're a juicy little hornswoggle, aren't you?
Yes.
Honest.
Anywho. So yeah, she's making fun, and I was like, dude, like he's like, I don't know. Thank you, Verna. Thank you, Verna. Y'all, if you like support the live, I do have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio. I do have I got a bunch of gold mines up there trying to just clear a little live gold night. So I know I'm not gonna be on for a super long time, but if you like support, I really appreciate that. Sorry, I gotta move this up a little bit because I did some camera changes. But yeah, I know. I mean, I'll be 40 this year. Matt's like, I think he'll be 43 this year. Ari's in her 30s. Erica's in her 30s. Yeah. So, yeah, we're not exactly some POD like youth of the nation over here. All right, but I guess in comparison, we're kind of youthful. You know. I feel like an old man in comparison to some of these people. Some of y'all could be my parents. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're 21. Yeah, I could literally be your age. No joke. Can you guys still see my banner up there? I moved my camera a bit. I hope you guys can still see it. Ruby said I could almost be your dad, maybe. Ruby was out in New York City. That was fun. It's cut off a bit, isn't it? I got to bring it back down. See, TikTok is so dumb. That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
I moved my camera up so I got more of me in the camera, but if I move the banner down, then it kind of covers me.
Also, Erica will be 40 before you.
She will be?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew she was old. Can you guys see it now?
She's your age.
No, she's older than me.
If you move it down, like
if
just
I move it down anymore, it's over my hat.
No, you have so much room.
I do not.
You do.
You can say that as many times as you want. I'm literally looking at it.
No, you have like my thumb.
You're looking at it from a TikTok screen, not from OBS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's Erica right there. She actually she just confirmed she is significantly older than me.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, she just said on there.
know.
She is significantly older than me. She actually said she could be my grandma.
She's funny. She's funny when she says she's almost 60.
That's not a lie.
All right. I'm just trying to make sure that it's like seen, at least the number is seen. You know what you could do?
Dude, I just wanted to know if it was in the screen or not. That was it. That was the extent. Was it in the screen? No? Okay, cool. I'll fix it.
You're okay.
So, anywho, she's not almost 60. She is 60.
That's just me.
Yeah, she's not almost 60. She's there. Congratulations. Look, the golden years are great for all of us. Right?
That's good. As long as no one throws or gifts a TikTok uni.
Yeah. And not a little to the left. It's literally in the dead center of the screen. Okay.
It really just depends on y'all's phones,
you guys have to remember that I'm not just running on your guys' platform, so I have to make sure it's actually centered. So like how it looks on other platforms is also important.
No, that's just not how it works.
Yeah, it has to look right through all of it, guys. It can't just look right on one.
No, impossible. It must only look right on TikTok, which by the way, guys, depending on what device you're using, it's going to look different to everyone.
Yeah, I can see it on mine right here. Like I have my iPad up of my screen and I can see it perfectly fine. So it really just depends on what one you're on. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yes.
Are you clicking something?
Yeah. It's a mouse. You're familiar with that object, right?
Yes, it's very loud and annoying.
I'm sorry, your headphones are too good.
Okay. Eco mouse is funny. That's dorky. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm 20.
What? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Why do you say that all weird?
All weird?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my voice, I guess.
Oh, okay. Anyways, you support Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Why is that?
I mean, there's obviously multiple reasons. I'd say for one, projecting strength, peace through strength. Another is DEI, also deporting the illegal immigrants.
Awesome. Are we at peace right now?
So those are, big three. No, we're not at peace right now.
So peace through strength is a lie.
No, this is the strength part. The peace part will come later.
When does that come?
It comes after the strength part.
When?
When? Like what date?
Yeah.
I can't give you an exact
You can give me an
right?
a general date. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'd say, when the war in Iran is over.
Okay, so like when we exhibited strength in 20 years in Afghanistan, then we had peace after that, right?
No, we didn't. We didn't. Well, Afghanistan, like those people were beyond saving.
Oh, gotcha. So like when we exerted like
much
strength in like Libya, and then that created the peace afterwards.
No.
Okay, or like when we
we didn't exert.
When we exerted strength in Iraq, and then that created peace afterwards, like that.
Well, Iraq is definitely better than it used to be under Hussein, under Saddam.
Okay, gotcha.
I'd say.
So can you please tell me at any point in time when actually we created peace through strength?
I'd say after World War II, when we dropped the fat man and the little boy.
And how did that create peace through strength?
It created the one, it ended the war, and two, it created the doctrine of deterrence, that we're deterring other countries from attacking us because we have those kind of weapons.
Gotcha. So we didn't actually have to drop it. We could have done it without that.
No, we had to drop it because we had to let people know. Well, one, we had to end the war with Japan, and two, we had to let people know that we had weapons of mass destruction. That way they were deterred from attacking us.
Why couldn't we just tell them?
Because, they might not believe it, right? You got to see it to believe it.
No, you don't.
You often do.
I've never seen a nuclear submarine. I assume it exists.
Well, you probably, you could look up like photos and stuff, right?
Have you ever seen like a nuclear bomb drop?
Well, I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, but have you seen one?
In person? No.
Yeah. So how do you know it exists?
Because I've seen pictures of it.
Oh, so we could have just shown them pictures of a nuclear bomb. That would have been fine.
Well, we had to drop it to get the pictures.
Gotcha. So we could have just dropped it like not on people and then just shown them.
Well, we dropped it, right? Us dropping it to, we had to end the war with Japan because that war would have been like
gotcha. So
for people,
let me be clear. There's not a time since World War II that you can name, even though the United States has been in, I don't even know how many wars and conflicts, in the last, 80 years since World War II ended. All of those times we've tried to project power, not a single one of those times has it ever created peace. So what makes you think that this one will?
Because for one, I think the Iranian people, they were already looking for a revolution. They were already like protesting in the streets.
So were the Afghanis, so were the Libyans, so were the Iraqis, so were all of those people. So what's the difference?
The Afghanis, they like,
actually,
they're pretty messed up over there. Like I
didn't say they weren't. The Iranians are messed up too. How is this different than the last one? How will this one create peace when all the other times that we did this exact same thing, it didn't? That's what I'm asking you.
That's not true. Regime change has worked in the past.
Regime change we're not doing regime change. Trump said we weren't doing regime change.
Well, we're eliminating the current regime, right? So that's going to lead to a regime.
How are you? Under what impression are we getting that we're eliminating the current regime?
Because we're blowing up all the people that are in charge.
The person that's in charge is the old Ayatollah's son, who's the new Ayatollah. So the Ayatollah is still in charge. The RGC is still in charge, and it doesn't look like we're going to do anything to stop that. So how are we?
Okay, but it's a new person. That means it's change, right?
So what's the definition of a regime?
We got rid of the old guy. We got a new guy.
What's the definition of a regime?
A regime is who's in charge.
What do you mean by who's in charge? Can you give me a better definition?
It's the people or the institution that's in charge of the government for a country.
Correct. The people and the institution that are in charge of the government, right? That's 100% correct. So when you take out one person, is one person a regime?
One person's a leader. I'd say, yeah.
Is one person a regime? No.
It depends on the structure of the government.
Correct. In a decentralized government like Iran is taking out one person a regime.
Yes.
Absolutely not. That's just a that's just an ignorant statement. I'm sorry. Like I can't even converse with you on that statement if that's what you believe. If you can say we took out their leader, that's totally fine. But killing a leader does not take out a regime.
The leader has absolute power over the government.
Actually, they have a decentralized government in Iran.
And decentralized how?
Do you know what a decentralized government is?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
All right, can you explain it?
It's like the opposite of a centralized government.
Cool. Got any better definitions for it?
Power is spread out instead of centralized, right?
You're doing so well.
Correct. So if power is spread out instead of centralized, right? If power is across many different facets, right? The reason why a decentralized government exists is so if you take out one person, okay, the government doesn't collapse. That's the entire point of a decentralized government. So by Iran having a decentralized government, it means that taking out one person does not take out the government.
So who is the power centralized like between?
The regime.
Who
the power is centralized to the regime.
Yeah. So like who other than the Ayatollah had power?
No one.
Okay. So
but we haven't taken out the Ayatollah.
No one other than the Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah regime is still in place.
No one other than the Ayatollah had power.
Sir, is there an Ayatollah right now?
Saying? Yes.
Okay. So therefore the regime's not gone.
Okay, but there still is a regime, but it's a different regime, right? Like,
no.
We had one person in charge, and then we got a different
regime
person in charge.
is a
regime change.
Sir, a regime is a system of government. It's not a person of government. It's a system of government. Okay? In order to take out a regime, it means that the entire way that the government works has to be completely taken out, and then a new way of government has to be put in. If the same way of government exists with another leader that was part of that government, then the regime still stays intact.
I disagree. I mean,
that's not I'm sorry. That wasn't open for disagreement. I'm giving you the definition of what a regime is and how it works. You can respond to that how you want, but I'm not asking for an agreement or disagreement on that because that's just the definition of things.
Look, you said that power was divided, that multiple people had power. Who had power other than the IRGC?
The head of the friggin' heads of the IRGC, the heads of the military, the heads of the states, right? There's a reason why before the friggin' Ayatollah died, they had already had a succession of 4 to 5 people already in place in case they died. Right? All the leaders had 4 to 5 people like backing them up, right? Ready to take the spot. Not to mention the fact that the Ayatollah was 86 years old, right? He was 86 years old and was expected to die anyway, right? So like, what are we talking about here, dude?
Those people, right? The IRGC and stuff, they had independent power, as in they could go against the Ayatollah if they wanted to. They could do their own thing.
If they wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, technically they could because that's how the IRGC is set up. Like they have bases across the country of Iran, and in their separate bases, they have their own leader who is not always required to answer to the Ayatollah. It's mostly a suggestion.
So the Ayatollah could tell them to do something and say, "No, I don't want to do it. I'm going to do something."
Maybe I can give you. Maybe I can just explain it to you better. Okay, you understand that Donald Trump is the leader of MAGA, right?
Yes.
Okay, if Donald Trump got unalived by a foreign government, whatever, and JD Vance took place, does that mean the regime changed? Is MAGA out of power?
No.
Why not? You took out the leader. The regime should be changed.
Because the leader doesn't have absolute power.
It doesn't matter whether they have absolute power or whether they do or don't have absolute power. Is it a change of the system of government if we put in JD Vance in place of Donald Trump?
No.
Why?
Because the system of government exists beyond the president because the president doesn't have absolute power, right?
Oh.
If the president had full control, then it would be because the president is the government at that point because he has absolute control.
Do you think that the Ayatollah makes every decision in Iran?
I think he has absolute power.
I didn't ask you that. I said, do you think that he makes every decision in the government in Iran?
No, he probably doesn't decide the garbage routes, right? Like, there's definitely decisions that are.
Do you think he decides
delicate.
everything that the military does?
No.
You think that there's some
He probably
level of
doesn't
government
decide-
control outside of him?
Of like decision making, or of like
Of
power?
decision making and power?
Yeah, there's obviously decisions that aren't made by the Ayatollah.
Oh, okay. So there are people within power throughout the entire government.
They don't have power over him. He
Yeah.
has the ultimate power. He has
Sir,
absolute
he might
power.
have ultimate
right?
power, but that doesn't mean that no one else has power. Each singular government, each singular part of the government has their own power within that section. And then he has a decision-making power over that. The reason for that is specifically, so if you kill the Ayatollah, specifically, they can keep operating without any direction. The Ayatollah can die, the Ayatollah can disappear, there can be no leader. And he can continue, the country continues just like it was before, just working autonomously. They don't need the Ayatollah's permission to start taking out boats in the Strait of Hormuz, or attacking boats in the Persian Gulf, or launching, missiles against Israel. They don't need the Ayatollah's permission for any of that. They just do it.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry,
a
are you
dictatorship-
eating?
no. I was just like, no. So a
Okay. Well, if it
dictatorship-
sounds like you're eating anymore, I'm going to have to
dic-
hang up because I'm not going to listen to you.
Okay,
eat.
yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah,
So-
sure. I'm not fucking with you. That's annoying.
Yeah, my bad, right? My bad. I wasn't eating. I was just like
And
squashing.
you should probably go to the
a
doctor, just to let you know. But anyways, regardless.
Yeah, so a dictatorship doesn't mean that the dictator makes every single decision in the country, right? A dictatorship means that the dictator has absolute power over the decisions being made, right? So obviously the dictator probably isn't going to like decide the garbage routes for how the garbage is picked up. But the dictator could go to the people and say, let's do it this way. And they would have to listen to him because he has absolute power. Whereas Trump doesn't have absolute power. If Trump went to, say Congress and said, make the law like this, they wouldn't listen to him because he's not in charge. He doesn't have absolute power. That's the difference between a dictatorship and a
What about,
government where power is divided.
But
What
sir,
about
we're
like
not
the word
arguing a
tyranny?
dictator. We're not arguing a dictator. I agree that the Ayatollah is a dictator. You didn't say he took out the dictator. You said he took out the regime. If you said he took out the dictator, we have nothing to argue about. You said the regime. Taking out the dictator doesn't take out the regime. Maduro was a dictator, right? We took out Maduro. Maduro's regime is still in place. Okay, it's still in place. Now, does it look different? Yes, but the regime is still in place. All right. If you want to look at things like Nicaragua or Panama, where we did a regime change, we took out, or Iran, we can look at Iran from 50 to 70 years ago, right? When we literally did actual regime change, where we armed the Islamists against the communists, okay, to take out the democratically elected Iranian leader, right? That's a regime change. The entire
insane.
system in which they did government was completely upended, and then a new system of government was put in. That's a full regime change. We've done it in Iran, all right? And that's the problem, is that we're not taking out the regime. And this is why, and I think that somebody in the Trump sphere understands this, which is why they keep saying Pete Hegseth is up there doing nursery rhymes or rap singles, trying to drop a mixtape or whatever the fuck he's doing with his dumb little rhymes. Like, it's not a regime change war, but the regime sure did change. They can't say it's a regime change war, because if they try to say it's a regime change wars, then they can never claim victory, right? Then they can never claim victory, right? They cannot make this a regime change war, because they will never be able to claim victory, because we'll be in this war for the next 20 years and they won't be able to pull off a regime change. And they know that. Somebody knows that. Somebody in there has enough brain cells to know that.
Okay, so what would be required for it to be a regime change?
I'm sorry. So let me ask you. Let me ask a clarifying question. Hey Nemo, what's going on, brother? let me ask you a question. Do you mean what would it take for the US to pull off a regime change, or what would the end result of a regime change look like? Just to be clear, because just so I understand the question.
I mean, by your definition of a regime change, like what is the criteria for it to be considered a regime
The
change,
entire system of government in which a country
regime?
exists under has to be upended and replaced.
The entire system.
Correct. So right now they are living under, I guess, an authoritarian dictatorship, right? That wasn't originally supposed to be like, hereditary, but is whatever. That's a whole other thing, right? It would have to like pretty much turn into a democracy, right? Or some type, or even like an oligarchy or anything else that would resemble some different type of government in which to exist in, right? In which none of the people that exist within the government right now are in power.
Okay, none of the people would be in power, right? So, the guy who's in charge of the post office would have to be a different guy in order to be considered a regime
I
change.
don't give a fuck
Like
who's
if
in
the
charge of their
same
post
guy-
office. I don't even know if
Well,
they
you said
have a post
everyone
office.
who's in power.
I
I'm sure
wouldn't
they have
get,
a
sir,
post
who runs the post office in the United States?
I don't know.
Oh, so he must not
Somebody
hold very
does.
much power here.
You can name every official in Iran that has any power.
I can probably not name more than a handful, right? But I also freaking can't say that the person in the post office in the United States holds power. So no, I don't give a shit about the post
does
office.
hold power.
What I'm saying, sir, is if freaking the United States regime was to change, that doesn't mean that Marco Rubio or JD Vance can take over, or Pete Hegseth, or freaking Eric Trump, or Kushner, Jared Kushner. If any of those people take power, it's still the same regime, right? Can be a different leader, but it's the same regime, right? In order for us to completely upend the entire system, we'd have to have free and fair elections in which the entire group of people that exist right now are completely taken over, right? And then that's an entire regime change, right? Even if the system of government still holds within it, right? Even if the entire system holds within it, and everybody within the government is changing completely, then I'm cool with that. That's a regime change.
So the only way to have regime change, it's not about replacing every single person in power. It's about becoming a democracy. Like if you don't become a democracy, you didn't change regime.
No, you can change it. I just explained to you that you can keep the actual same system of government that you have and still change everyone within it.
So those are the two options. You have to change everyone within the system, or you have to become a democracy.
Sir, you're missing it on the democracy part, right? I was making an example of a democracy for Iran.
So it's not about them. Okay. So you have to change.
That
every
was
single
for
person
Iran.
you
I
have.
was making an example of if Iran became a democracy, right? That would be a complete
Okay, so
different
you're-
regime change. I just made the example of how United States would go through a regime change, right? Without changing our constitution, without changing our laws, without changing our rules, anything. Right? If Canada came down, kidnapped, Donald Trump, brought in the army somehow and removed everybody that was in the system of power and decided, hey, we have somebody in the United States that we think is more, better for the United States and better for Canadian interests, and installed, I don't fucking know, Pete Buttigieg, right? And Pete Buttigieg comes in and comes in and changes the entire way that the entire group of leaders within the United States. That's a regime change.
Okay, so you don't have to become a democracy, but you have to change out every single person in the government. That's
At
what
least
you need
all
to
the
do.
major ones, yeah, man. Dude, you're trying to straw man this argument, and it's not working. Okay, you're trying to say like,
get a clear
oh,
criteria.
guys, if there was a secretary in the government that we didn't change out, then it's not a regime change, right? Or
you draw the line. Tell me where the line is. How many people do you need to change out for it to be a regime change?
that would depend on the regime.
Mm-hmm. Well, for Iran, how many people do you need to change out for Iran?
I don't think we can do a regime change in Iran. We'd have to take a ground army in and take out the entire the entire leadership of their entire government with all the people that are backing them up. Yeah. And don't allow them to pick their next people.
How many people do we need to replace for it to be a different regime?
Oh, man. Completely take out? Well, it's a changing number because the problem is it's probably around 40 to 50, right? But if they replace one, then that number stays the same.
Well, you gotta.
So if they
means you
kill
gotta
one and then they
replace
replace that person,
Can't have
then
no
it's right back to the same. Then it's so if it's 50. So like I'll give you an example. They killed Ayatollah Khomeini, right? And say it was like 50, right? They took out like Ayatollah Khomeini, and then his son replaced him. So now the number's back up to 50.
Well, if you're gonna do a regime change, you have to replace the people in charge with different people. Otherwise, you don't have a new regime in that case. If you don't
Right.
replace the people in charge with different people, then
You
you're not
have to
changing
put in the
regime, you're
people,
just
sir.
getting rid of it.
You have to put in the people. If the same people in power keep putting in the people, then that's just the regime creating a further regime.
It's still a different one, though, isn't it?
It's not.
It's the it's like the
How about
parent
this?
versus the kid.
I'll try really one more time with you, okay? I'll try one more time with you. Maybe you can get it. Okay? Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Sure.
1940s Germany, right? The Axis powers and the Allied powers were at war. The Allied powers went into Germany, right? If we just took out Hitler, does that change the Nazi regime?
Yes.
Wrong. Because the Goebbels would, or freaking Goring would have been in charge. And Goring was one of the people that executed a lot of the freaking stuff that happened in there. It took out, he was doing the concentration camps. He had the same anti-Semitic views. He still had the Nazi party ideology. He had all the same ideologies and views of Hitler and would have been in power. And all the other people in there would have been in power also. So nothing would have changed in the world and nothing would have changed in Germany if Goring took the place of Hitler.
Well, he would have made different decisions than Hitler did.
You don't know that.
Okay.
He was
Who
making
would have to take
autonomous
the place?
decisions. He was making autonomous decisions through that entire things where he was signing off things like freaking like death camps. He was doing that without Hitler's permission.
Who would have to take the place? of
Mishi,
that?
thank you so much. Thank you so much. But you see what we did is we went in there, okay? The people that that didn't unalive themselves, right? That didn't kill themselves in a bunker, right? The people that didn't do that, all right, got put on trial at the Nuremberg trials, and they took out everyone. And then for a while, the Allied powers took control, and then they slowly gave power back to Germany to try to build leaders. But we still had checks on the type of leaders that they were able to put in, and onward and onward and onward and onward. And now, right, the German government doesn't look anything like it did 80 years ago. Right? Because the regime changed. The entire system of government and people within that government changed. All right? Taking out Hitler didn't do that. Let me ask you a question. Did the war end when Hitler died?
No,
Why?
because there was still people fighting.
Why were there people fighting?
Because the new regime wanted to continue fighting.
The new regime. So what you're saying is that the old regime and the new regime had the exact same goals. So it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, two regimes can have similar goals. It's not
Okay.
Like,
You are
Heard
either, and I mean this with no offense, okay? Like, and truthfully, I mean this with no offense. You are either purposely acting like a fucking moron, okay? Or too much of an idiot to comprehend this type of conversation. Because I've explained this to you like in depth. No, shh. I've explained this to you like in depth, like multiple times now. Right? And I would love to move on with this conversation, but you're either too stupid to understand what I'm telling you, or you're purposely being obtuse. Okay. So therefore, I have no will to continue this conversation with you.
well, let me just explain my point of view.
I
right,
don't
so that
want
you
to
can
hear
fully
it.
understand.
The second one.
Yeah.
I
don't want to hear it,
like
sir.
you don't understand what I'm saying.
Sir, I don't care what you have to say. Okay. Because you refuse to engage in intelligent conversation with me. Okay. If you're willing to engage in intelligent conversation with me, I am very willing to have a conversation with you. But if you're just going to act like what I'm saying isn't fucking English, then why would I continue to talk to you?
Just because I don't agree doesn't mean
We're not having an agreement or disagreement.
not-
You're acting like you're too stupid to understand what I'm trying to tell you. This has
understand what
nothing
you're
to
trying
do
to
with
tell you. I
agreement or disagreement. This has nothing to do
It absolutely
with
does.
whether you agree with me or not agree with me. We can't get past what the definition of a fucking regime is based on what the actual definition of regime is. We can't get past what the dictionary says a regime is.
I'm like, what part? I'm saying the regime is those in power. That's the regime.
Do I need to
It's
put it up on the
those in power.
screen? Maybe if I put it up on the fucking screen, like, how about this? Dictionary.com. Dictionary.com. I don't even think dictionary.com is very good, right? But that's okay. Word, regime. All right. Cool.
Those in power.
No,
What does it say?
that is not the definition.
No.
Okay, and I've already explained this to you in depth. Okay, I have explained that to you in depth. Okay, I've done it very, very, very clearly to explain that that's not it. Okay, so we're gonna do it like this: regime, a mode or system of rule or government. Okay, not those in power, not some dude in charge. Okay, a mode or system of rule or government. All right. By the definition, okay. And even if you want to go down more definitions, a ruling or prevailing system, the government of power, the period during which a particular government or ruling system is in power. None of those say the dude in power. None of them say that. None of them say the guy that's in power. Not a singular one of these definitions at any point would describe a regime as a singular person.
Well, I mean, it depends on the type of government. Most governments aren't run by a singular person.
Do you need me to put? Do you not like dictionary.com? You want me to pull up like Merriam-Webster?
The
Or-
system, right? So it's the system, right? That's
Here's it
your
on the
A
ground.
mode or
That's your
system
view?
of rule or government.
so the only way to have regime change is to change the system of government.
The mode or system of rule or government.
I'm trying to clarify.
And I can't be more clear than that. The mode or system of rule or government.
So according to that definition, in order to have regime change, you would have to change the system of government.
You'd have to change the mode or system of rule or government.
Well, what's the difference between a mode and a system?
What's the difference between a mode and a system?
Yeah.
A mode would be like
That's
a system of
versus
government would be
power.
like a parliamentary system, right? A mode of government would be like a dictatorship.
I would have just said that it's the way it operates, or the difference between like how it runs, like the way it's set up versus the way it operates.
Sure, that's a great way to put it. Also,
So if you replace the dictatorship with another dictatorship, that wouldn't be regime change because they're both the same system because they're both dictatorships.
correct.
Right.
Okay, well then by that definition, yeah, I guess it's not regime change.
Okay, cool. Not a regime change
By that definition, yeah, sure.
by the definition.
Yeah, I mean there's no objective definition, but yeah.
Gotcha.
By that
So by the definition that human beings use in English in the United States of America, we're not doing a regime change. In whatever one you made up, we might be. Copy. All right. So why are you supporting this not regime change that we're doing?
Because even though it's by definition, according to Merriam-Webster or whatever, technically not a regime change because it's not changing the system of government, I still think it's a good thing to punish dictators and eliminate them from power.
Like Putin?
Yeah, like Putin.
Like Putin that Donald Trump just had the military roll out a red carpet for in Alaska on a U.S. base and invited him to
Well,
the
we can't.
to be on the peace board. I mean, like that.
I wish we could do that, but Putin we can't blow up because he has nuclear weapons. So trying to go after him could result in like the end of the world. So it's not really something that we can practically do without like huge risks. But the Ayatollah didn't have nuclear weapons, and neither did Maduro. So they were a lot like safer targets to go after.
Gotcha. So your entire moral argument falls apart.
It's not a moral argument.
It is because you're saying that you feel like we should punish dictators. That's a moral argument. That's an emotional.
It's not a moral argument.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Then what is this, sir? It's not a logical one.
It's for the benefit. It's for the benefit of America.
That's your opinion. That's still feelings.
Okay, but it's not based on like doing it because it's like the right thing to do. It's based on doing it to benefit America, right?
Gotcha. So how does it benefit America?
Because it benefits America to have other countries do what we want them to do. And it benefits to America to take out threats to our country and to our sovereignty.
I gotcha. And is Iran doing what we want them to do right now?
No, that's why we're at war with them.
Oh, gotcha. When are they going to start doing what we want them to do? Because we offered them a ceasefire and they told us to fuck off.
Probably after like we've blown them up enough, then they'll probably realize that it's not a good strategy to keep fighting us.
And why would they do that?
Because they don't want to keep getting, exploded.
They're not getting exploded. Their citizens are getting exploded. School children are getting exploded.
Well, their leader got exploded too, right?
Their leader was 86 years old.
And their military.
We spent billions of dollars. Sir, we spent billions of dollars doing what Mother Nature would have done any fucking day now.
86-year-olds don't want to get exploded either, right? Like, even though they're old, they also don't want to, unalive. They want to stay alive.
Whether he wanted to get exploded or didn't want to get exploded, which I'm going ahead and agree with you on that one and say that he didn't want to get exploded, right? You think that the leader being gone, right? The leader that they all expected to die, dying was going to change the way they do business.
Yes, I do.
Gotcha. So they're doing what they want by Donald Trump said he was going to put a new leader and he was going to create and put in the new Ayatollah. They told him to fuck off. Then he said we were going to do a ceasefire. He told them to fuck off. Then he threatened to blow up their power facilities if they didn't open the strait. And Iran told them to fuck off. Right? Donald Trump changed his deadline to, we're going to start doing this like soon, like with bombing cargo. Oh, fuck off. So literally all this bombing, all these billions of dollars, and Iran hasn't done a goddamn thing that we want them to, and doesn't look like he's going to. Because this is the difference, and this is why people like you, they don't understand how the Ayatollah works, right? Or how governments like this, or how decentralized governments like this work, is you think that winning is not getting blown up. They see winning as just survival, right? As long as their regime is there at the end, then they won. Not to mention the fact that Donald Trump seems, according to reports from the White House, that he's already getting bored with the war because it's distracting from his other bigger projects like signing money and building ballrooms.
The point is to set an example, right? We're setting the example that if you don't listen to us, you get blown up. And given that most people don't want to get blown up, I think it'll make other countries more likely to listen to us in the future, given that they now fear that we're going to blow them up. And I don't think that Biden or the Biden administration really created that fear, because they really weren't willing to blow anyone up.
No, what we just told the rest of the world is if you try to negotiate with you, we'll blow you up.
We tried to negotiate with them, and they wouldn't take our deal.
We were in the middle of negotiations with them twice and blew them up twice. Both times we were in the middle. It wasn't a matter. Oh, so what you're saying is it's not a matter. What you're saying is if you try to negotiate with us and you don't do exactly what we say, then we'll blow you up.
Yes. Either you take the deal or you get blown up.
You either take the deal or you get blown up. You either do it our way or we'll literally murder you.
Yeah, probably. I'm confused then. Why haven't we done that with Russia or Ukraine?
Because Russia has nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, why haven't we done it with Russia or Ukraine, who has no nukes, when neither of them are willing to see different things or listen to the United States? And the president has supposedly been working on a peace plan for a year, 14 months.
Yeah, well,
because
what this
Russia
guy is
has
actually trying to say
nuclear
is
weapons.
that we need to impose our will by being giant bullies and not letting anybody, actually freaking, be sovereign countries. We need to make sure we're imposing our will on everybody. Unless they have nukes, then they can do whatever they want. So now what the caller is actually saying is that we have just given Iran every single reason possible to get nuclear weapons. Because if they got nukes, then the United States wouldn't poke at them anymore, right? The United States would just let them do whatever they wanted because it's already showing that Iran has nukes. They commit human rights violations. They're disruptive to the region, right? They disrupt things like trade. They are, they're expansionists, right? They're doing all of those things, but they have nukes. The United States doesn't do anything to them. North Korea freaking commits some of the worst human rights violations, right? Causes destabilization to the region. Doesn't have American interests at hearts at all, says they want to bomb the United States. We just let them go and do whatever they want because they have nukes. So what we're teaching Iran is that, hey, negotiation through honest negotiation with these countries doesn't work. All we need to do is get nukes.
Let me respond to those points, right? For
It was
one,
actually just one point,
North
but go
Korea.
ahead.
Well, there's multiple points, right? For one,
No.
North Korea isn't really a threat outside of their own country. They're not aggressive. They don't really attack other countries very much. So we're much less worried about them overall. And as far as, the idea is that if a country has nukes, they can do whatever they want. But the idea is that if a country has nukes, we have to be a lot more cautious. We can't just be like, all right, we're gonna, blow up your leader because they might have the dead man switch and they might have the power to end the entire world. So we should still push back, but we have to be overall just more cautious because we're risking the entire world, whereas Iran can't do that. And the point is to try and prevent Iran from having nukes. That's why we're in the war in the first place.
But if they
is
don't
because
have,
Hold on.
they
Hold on.
wanted
All
to
right,
have
let me
nukes
finish.
already, and we didn't. They already wanted to have nukes, and we wanted to stop them. So that's the deal we made. Either you stop enriching uranium, or we blow you up. And they wouldn't stop, so we blew them up, right? I mean, it's a simple deal, and honestly, I think they chose badly, and as far as the options there. So I
So
think the
you're
point is
making my
overall,
point. You know that, right?
no.
You don't know that? All right, I'm gonna let Ari talk in a second. I'm gonna explain. You just literally made my point, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay. You literally just made my point. You literally just said, okay, that the reason why we don't go after these countries because they have nukes, and we have to be scared of countries that have nukes, so we can't do all of those things because they might have things like a dead man
So more
switch.
cautious.
Yeah, exactly. We have to be more cautious. So we wouldn't be at war with Iran right now if they had nukes. So it is every benefit to Iran to ignore any deal we make with them and to get nukes. That is literally what I just said. You just made my fucking point. But go ahead, Ari.
I was just gonna point out, I was told by President Trump that Iran was an imminent threat, right? And that they either already had nukes or they were this close to getting nukes, 2 weeks away, right? But that didn't stop the United States from blowing them up when we thought or suspected they already had nuclear weapons.
Iran has been trying to get nukes for a long time, right? Before this war started, before any of this happened, they were already trying to get nukes. It's not like they tried to get nukes in response to this war. And they have gotten close, but we've been thwarting them. Us in Israel have been thwarting them in the past. We've been blowing up their centrifuges and striking their facilities and preventing them from getting nukes. And the last report said that they enriched uranium to 60%, which is, near nuclear levels. It's way beyond what you need for energy usage, right? It's energy usage. You would never need that level of enriched uranium. You only need 3%. So it's clear that they were pursuing nuclear weapons. And the point.
So hold on.
The
So the
point
3% that they were only up to before Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when we were at they were enriching to 2.7%, according to the deal we made with them, and Donald Trump pulled us out of that deal. You're saying that was a bad thing. You're saying that Donald Trump created the situation that we're in.
No, I think that was a bad deal.
How was it a bad deal?
because we gave them like all sorts of shit. I mean, they should. If we tell them not to enrich uranium, they should just do it because we told them to. We
Oh,
shouldn't have to
gotcha.
give them all
So
sorts of
what you
privileges,
think
right?
is, because we release sanctions in order for them to not do that. So what you think is releasing
Yes.
sanctions in order to freaking stop them getting nuclear weapons, bad. But if we give them release sanctions on them to reduce the oil price across the world, then that's good.
Well, that's like a temporary thing. I mean, with the current thing is going down, right? But we released sanctions on them, and what they do? They spent it on, you know, ballistic missiles and like conventional weapons.
What
And
do you
they
think they're
attacked our
doing with the
allies.
money that they're getting from the release of sanctions right now?
I mean, probably not much because we're so busy blowing them up. I mean,
Nope, they're
they
arming
won't really
themselves
be
and
able to do
arming
that
their
much.
freaking proxies to attack us. We're literally releasing sanctions on Iran for Iran to fight us with. We're giving them money in order to fight us against it. Like it's the most ridiculous fucking state. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. If the same sanctions that we're releasing on them that they're using right now, they're using the money of the release of sanctions that Donald Trump is giving them to kill American soldiers. Right? That's what they're using that money for, is to build drones to kill American soldiers. Right? And apparently you can justify that, right? You can justify releasing sanctions to kill American soldiers, but you can't do it to stop them from getting nuclear weapons. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard of.
Because they're not going to be around for that much longer, so they're not going to be able. They're not going to have time to build the drones. I mean, building drones takes a lot of time.
No, it doesn't.
So,
These are
but I mean, by the
$50,000 drones. They build them in like a week, dude.
no, I mean, you
The
gotta,
reason why we're asking Ukraine for their drones is because they have proven capable of building them in a short amount of time for a cheap amount of money, and they are effective. Like, that's completely untrue.
Well, I don't think we're actually asking Ukraine for their drones. We're actually asking Ukraine for their anti-drone technology, because they're using the exact same drones that Russia has been using against Ukraine for the last years, right? Since the Ukraine-Russia war started, that the Russians have been using these exact same $50,000 drones that they can create in fucking no time, right? I mean, just the release of the oil that was already on the water funded for gonna run like $14 billion. You know how many $50,000 drones you can make with $14 billion? I don't know the number off the top of my head. Someone do the math for me. How many $50,000 drones can I make with $14 billion? Just out of curiosity. I'm just wondering.
I don't want to do that math.
Someone else can do the math. There's math people in there. There's somebody who's having needs a moment over there to do
They're
it.
having a good day.
Yeah, and they want to do it.
We're winning the war. Like, undoubtedly, we are winning the war, right? We have better technology than Ukraine, and
Then
the
why are we
sanctions aren't
asking?
going to make a difference. We're still going to win the war.
So we had better technology than Afghanistan. We didn't win the war. We had better technology than Vietnam when we didn't win the war. So what?
That's because that war, like, Afghanistan, those people, like, I mean, they just we couldn't win the culture war. Like, we couldn't convert them to democratic ideals.
They already had a
But it's-
democratic government that we overthrew. It's 280 million drones, by the way.
Oh, cool.
As far as
I was
the
wondering
military war,
about that. That's helpful. So, but regardless of any of that, sir, you don't seem to understand that you think Iran is trying to win the war. That's your problem. You think winning looks like them defeating the US military. That's not what winning is to them. Okay? That's not what winning is. If they survive, they're winning. And right now they are surviving. Okay? This is the same idiots, okay, who invaded Iraq and all these other stuff with this stupid fucking idea, right? That somehow, all right, you guys think that freaking winning is like, oh, we're all gonna stand out in a field and fire muskets at each other, and whoever's standing at the end wins. Okay, that's not what winning is, okay? That's not what winning is. All right, winning is just as long as they survive. Surviving is their goal.
we won in Iraq and we took out Saddam, and Iraq is they're better for it.
I didn't say Iraq, but regardless.
You did say Iraq.
Well, if I did, I'm sorry. We also didn't win in Iraq either. We literally destabilized their entire fucking region, destabilized their entire currency, and drove the entire country into full-fledged like famine and poverty. So no, we did not win. Nobody fucking won.
Now they're
They
not.
still have
They're not invading people anymore.
organizations. Yep. Oh my God, what? Okay, I give up.
Saddam was invading other countries, like invading Kuwait, and now Iraq doesn't invade anyone anymore. I mean, we took them out as a threat on the global scale.
You mean
They're
like
no
when they
longer a
invaded
threat.
Iran? You know they did that with our permission, right?
They invaded Kuwait was like the major issue.
Sorry, they invaded Kuwait with our permission too. Forgot about that.
I don't think that's true. I think that's what triggered the war in the first place.
Nope, they did it with our permission, and then freaking our president at the time had a freaking meeting with the freaking prime minister of the UK, and she convinced them that maybe we shouldn't have let them do that, and then we changed our mind on how it was actually supposed to work. I can't like pin my gift goal anymore. It's like freaking whole thing's like shut down. So make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. If you guys like to help me clear this live gift goal, I appreciate that too. I can't, for some reason. What is going on? I can't do anything.
I always have to exit and reopen it on that one. I don't know if that'll fix it.
No, I literally can't even open it right now. Like it went away from my screen.
TikTok be glitch talk.
Where is it? Are you still there, caller?
Yeah,
Oh God,
it
AI
says
overview.
they didn't invade Kuwait with our permission. Turn off the green screen.
Turn off the green screen?
Yeah, sorry, dude. We don't.
I had it on.
We don't. Yeah, we don't. Bring. No, you can keep your camera off.
I googled it. It says they didn't have U.S. permission.
Sorry, they were just aware of it and didn't stop it. I apologize. I took that as permission. My apologies. But here's actually on the Texas National Security Review where it talks about it. And it talks about the origin of the Iraq invasion in Kuwait, where literally we were aware of it. We weren't exactly expecting them to do it exactly the way that they did it, but we knew they were going to fucking do it.
That's generally that's what triggered the war in the first place.
We didn't care, sir. We didn't care until we were told to care.
Well, we cared enough to go to war with them.
No, sir. We don't go to war because we care.
Why'd we go to war? For oil,
money, oil,
money,
resources.
Yeah.
I mean, it have the Americans behind it. The point.
Okay.
And the point is not to let people. You know, we're the most powerful country. Like, we got to use that to our advantage. We can't be the most powerful country and just get bitched around by every other country.
Dude,
we were using it to our advantage. And now we aren't using it to our advantage. That's the entire point. We were using it to our advantage. And now none of the countries that had our back that made us powerful like us, care about us, or want to fucking help us. All the countries we had diplomatic solutions with, all the countries that we actually wanted to actually stay in their place that were doing it, now they don't want to do it. All the countries that would help us, all the NATO countries, none of them fucking give a shit about helping us anymore. All of our soft power is completely gone. Okay? Every single little bit of freaking negotiating power or freaking competency that had been built up since the end of World War II by US presidents, Donald Trump has completely destroyed.
No country made us powerful. We're powerful on our own because we spend more on the military than the next 10 countries combined.
Oh, see, that's you're confusing. You guys think a bigger military makes you powerful.
It absolutely does.
No.
Yes, that's the definition.
No.
Yes.
Okay,
What
cool.
makes you
Who
powerful?
has more power in a school, the principal or the school bully?
The principal.
Oh, really? But they're not beating anyone up. So what? Why not? Wouldn't the
They
school
still have
principal have a lot
authority
more
over
fun,
they have
a lot
authority
more
over.
power if they were going into classrooms and slapping kids around?
No.
What are you talking, sir? Your entire argument is falling apart. What are you talking about? You're
That's a
saying
stupid argument.
that the only way that we can be powerful in the United States is by having a big military and going around beating people up.
The analogy doesn't work because the school
works
bully
perfect.
can't
You
beat
just
up the
don't get it.
principal. The school bully can't beat up the principal because the school bully would like go to jail for that. You can't just assault someone. If the school bully had like, the overall power, as in like he had the maximum, he had armies beside him and nobody else could threaten him, then he would be more powerful, right?
You think no
The
one can
US
threaten the United States?
Yes.
Oh, you're high.
Not without nuclear weapons.
Sir, how many countries in the world have nuclear weapons?
I think like 13.
Oh, so there's tons of countries that can threaten us.
Okay, but nuclear weapons, I mean, that leads to mass destruction. It leads to mutually assured destruction. So like, it's not really a viable method of warfare at this point. Like
And why'd you
conventional
bring it up?
warfare, nobody can threaten us because that's the only way any other country would have a chance is just by destroying the whole world. Like in terms of conventional warfare, nobody can threaten us.
Sir, that you are literally, sir, you need to go enlist or something. Okay?
No.
You need to go enlist.
Oh.
All right. I can get you the numbers for all the recruitment stations in town. You said you're 20 years old. Okay. You need to go enlist in the army. They've lowered their standards horribly bad, so even you can get in. Okay. Oh no, he's not deserving enough for that. The army says they'll take you even if you're a crackhead now. So it's totally fine. You need to go enlist, okay? Because you think, all right, and yes, I agree. Our military is definitely the best in the fucking world. We spend more money on it. We have better weapons than everybody else in the world. I don't disagree with that at all. If you think that makes us impervious to fucking attack or impervious to other countries taking us down, then you don't know what you're talking about and you don't understand how military power projects across the world. The safest, the thing that we can do the most to make us the most safe is to have friends and allies all across the fucking world, okay, with militaries that put a barrier in between us and them. That is how we keep ourselves safe. All right. That is how we freaking make sure that we stay a big power by keeping our friends close, our enemies closer, right? And projecting that power through everything from aid, making friends. Because I watch China's doing that right now. That's how China's growing. China's growing right now. All right. They're growing every single day in their ability to project power because they're doing it peacefully. Because you gain more influence, you catch more with honey than you do with vinegar. All right. You get all the people on your side. You get all those armies on your sides. You get all that stuff, right? That's what makes you powerful. The military is supposed to be a last resort. And it is important to fund the military. It is important to have the best weapons. It is important to have the best training as a last result in case anybody gets frisky. Okay? That is very, very important. It's incredibly important. But it does not help you gain more power to go around attacking countries, even if those countries are shitty, even if they're bad people, even if they have dictators, even if they're doing bad things in their country or doing bad things to regions. It's not the way that you do it. Okay. It should be a last resort when nothing else has happened. Right. And we were in the JCPOA. We were stopping them from getting nuclear weapons. They were negotiating with us multiple times since then. Donald Trump could not negotiate. Art of the deal, can't negotiate his way out of a fucking paper bag. Okay. And now we sit here in a war that we can't win. All right. We just can't. Iran just turned on a 1 million person standing army. And what are we gonna send like 2,500 freaking Marines from 29 Palms and freaking, and the 82nd Airborne in and take down 1 million standing ground troops? Crazy, right? Not gonna happen.
And Iraq has announced today that they're not going to allow their country to be a staging ground for the U.S. war against Iran.
And I don't know why any country would. Okay? That's why the NATO's not joining. That's why all these other countries aren't joining. The reason they're not joining because it doesn't make any fucking sense to put your country at a risk for no fucking reason. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to put your puppet. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Put your country at a risk for no fucking reason. All right, the fact exactly, Nemo. Thank you so much. The fact that Iraq and Iran are allies right now is fucking wild. That is like did not have that on my 2026 bingo card. I will tell you that for sure. Did not have that on my 2026 bingo card. And that's anyways, man. I'm gonna move on to the next caller. You have a good one, all right?
I
Bye. That's absolutely nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
Just a little bit. He was a bit elevated, I think.
On life.
I think that was his issue.
On life.
Yeah, no.
Puppet and Coco and Coco. And where's that other one at? Oh, and Mishi, thank you so much for the gold mines. We only have one more little gold mine over there to clear out this live gift goal. But y'all make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys are following Ari. She's down here on the chat. And over on the YouTubes, if you hear her in, she's Mermaid Ari0 over there. So make sure you guys are checking her also. I'm cool to take another call. Are you good, Ari?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I am gonna take off this hoodie though. Real quick. Oh my God. Sing them a song or something while I do this.
Mermaids aren't allowed on airplanes. Guys, I just want to let you know. Hi, my name is Ari, and I almost wasn't allowed to be on an airplane because mermaids aren't allowed. Mermaid is not a real last name. So don't try to ask a TSA officer to say, but look, I am a mermaid, okay? Ain't it fun?
She's really singing.
In the real world. Ain't it cool?
Ain't it cool?
Being all alone.
Ain't it good to be on your own? Ain't it fun?
Ain't it fun to count on no one? I missed my chance to do that in karaoke.
I'm hearing para mermaid. That's what we're calling that.
Para mermaid. Okay. Well,
Michael, thank you so much for the $25. I really appreciate that. Says unmute me, please.
Huh, Michael? We're gonna need your
Yeah, Michael. I need your username. I don't think your username is Michael, but we can make that happen.
Yeah.
But
include that in, like, you can add a message. Well, if you sent it over Vimo, you can add a message to it later. And
yeah, add a message to it later.
Like now, but
yeah.
Later as in now.
Later as in right this moment.
Oh, I know who it is. Never mind.
You got
I
it?
see it?
Cool.
Yeah, I see it. You're unmuted.
Cool. Taken care of. Capo, thank you so much for the 10 memberships. I really, really appreciate that. Huge W's in the chat for Capo for that. Oh, excuse me. Make sure if you guys want to join the live, you guys can become members. You can become super fans. I think we're going to do oh my goodness, I'm sorry. We're going to do a super fan drive soon because we don't have any super fans anymore. And we're building up these YouTube members. So make sure you guys join in. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for Capo. Scott, thank you so much for $2. Said peace will come after impeachment. Maybe. Scott also said first time super chatter here. I don't like Trump. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate you. Well, welcome Scott to the lives. Scott also, maggots are like skin marks. Scott also said peace will come after impeachment again. And then Scott said, Trump is the bully of one playground, but there is more than one playground in the world. 100%. Louise, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, hi, Paulie. Hey, Ari. This MAGA morons never learned. They 100% not. Hey, over there in Puerto Rico. Hope everything is going well. Lewis, I hope everything is going well. Really appreciate you. And Brian, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Can we get huge W's in chat for Brian for the $50 super chat? That is absolutely huge. Thank you so much. We need W's in chat. Let's light this thing up with W's for all the gifters over here. We got Brian, we got Luis, we got Capo, and of course we got Scott over there. First time gifter Scott, you know. First time gifter Scott. So let's light this thing up with W's. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is absolutely huge. All right, let's open up the phone lines now. Let's open up the guest request box. Let's open up all the things, all the stuff and the things. Ooh, I was sweating up here. I was sweating up
get
here.
a copyright violation for my rendition of Paramore.
See, we're not all good like Matt. Matt's all good and stuff. So he gets copyright violation. We don't. We sound nothing like Paramore.
I mean, I can't try. We had this. I am not. I am an alto. I am not a soprano.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, like I said, y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. We are going to be including some other creators on the lives coming up very soon to have some new conversations, get some new perspectives and stuff. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be reaching out to some creators and seeing if we can get on like some type of a weekly thing to kind of add another creator, another very bright mind in politics up onto the channel 3-4 nights a week. So it's really good. If you're hearing a voice, someone said, whose voice is that? That voice is Ari. She goes by Mermaid Ari Zero over on the YouTubes. Great creator also. I may be biased. But she's awesome. So if you hear a girl's voice, a lady's voice, a woman's voice coming through over there, that is what you are hearing. All right.
Huh?
People can hear you. They were asking what the voice was.
I is no nothing. I know nothing.
I know nothing. Mr. Superman no here.
Yeah, we know here.
Mr. Superman no here.
Oh, he ran away. That guy was chirping in the comments.
Oh, David, he didn't want any actual smoke. Somebody was calling. They called me like 5 times. And then when I get ready to answer, they're not there. Hello, how are you?
Tapping air?
Yeah, that sounded like a tapping air. No. Mr. Superman no here. No. Me clean. Oh, no. U.S. fighter jets escort plane out of no-fly zone near Trump's Mar-a-Lago.
What? I don't understand. I got...
They speak English and what?
I don't speak English sometimes.
What ain't no country I ever heard of?
It's just so dumb. Like, hey, we don't want to help Iran fund fighting their war on us, but we need their oil, so we're gonna buy it. But we only get 2% of our oil. Sorry, 1% according to Trump through the Strait of Hormuz, when really it's like 3.5%. Do you know who gets less oil from the United States, like through the Strait, and is being hit harder than the United States by pricing?
Someone in Europe.
Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah, they actually get less than 1% of their supply that goes through the Strait, whereas we get 4 times the amount as they do, and they're having worse troubles.
Yeah, I keep hearing this rhetoric like, oh, like you don't have to worry about gas prices because gas prices like aren't really going to affect you because we don't get our oil from there. And then we keep seeing gas prices go up. Like, it's such a, by the way, Electric, thank you so much for the hand heart. I really appreciate it. Scott, thank you so much. It's just such like a crazy thing to be like, hey, we don't get our oil from them, and so we're not affected. And everybody's like, but our gas prices are going up, and they're like, and he's like, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Like that's not it. You know what I'm saying? KJ says it's because we make our own oil. Did you know we're making oil now?
I mean, how do they mean that? Because it could be wrong and it could also be right.
No, we're making it. Like we're in a lab. It's like how they make like lab grown diamonds. You know, there's just like it's a little bit of like eye of the newt, right? A little bit of witch's tail or something. Um, I don't actually know what it is. I don't know what the actual recipe is, but I'm pretty sure it's eye of newt, which rabbit's foot, the toenail clippings of a frog or something, lizard legs, gillyweed. double toil and trouble.
No, Tears of a Virgin. You can't forget that.
Oh, Tears of a Virgin. Hey, KJ can help with that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't start this. I'm just here. My bad.
That's cool. I was hoping KJ could help with the recipe. That's pretty cool.
Hey, yo,
Lion's
also,
mane.
That's A for diesel. That's funny. No, we also need claw from a wildebeest.
A claw from a wildebeest? Do wildebeest have claws?
Yeah. I think so. Because they don't have hoofs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
It could be from a griffin.
A mermaid's tail?
Oh.
Spit of a cat? What? Nonchalant. Yeah, dude, we're debating. We had a bunch of people calling in and then they all disappeared once I smoked that last guy, which is pretty standard. Oh, you got to have a placenta in there. That's how you make it. You got to have pieces of a placenta.
Okay. Someone in the chat is telling me that Australia gets their oil from Asia, which gets their oil from Iran or through the Strait. I guess Asia stopped producing their oil. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. Okay. I think she is Australian. I did have somebody that called in my live and said that their gas prices did go up. And sorry, I did a little bit of research to find out where, I think it was the New York Times actually did a full they did a full breakdown of who gets oil from the Strait, and it put Australia at the bottom of the list at less than 1%. So the New York Times, I guess.
Maybe they're just talking direct versus indirect. I'm sure it's just a, semantics error.
Actually, that might be it. They've just been talking about the direct supplies.
Nemo also says you have to cook oil in the placenta.
I thought that's where the baby comes from.
No, that's where the oil comes from. That's why Republicans need people to have more babies.
It
increases our strategic reserves.
That's why the host didn't know what comes from, or not the host, but the guest didn't know what comes from a placenta.
Yeah.
So
100%. Tim, thank you so much for the $5. Said, Polly, remember the strategic reserves can buffer prices forever. Is like all fossil fuels is infinite and non-depletable, also good for the environment. The strategic reserves thing drives me so crazy. The placenta reserve, stop. Fuck. Someone just said the placenta reserve.
That was great. Zazo, I don't know what you're doing here if you haven't watched the video.
That's too fucking good. Anyways. Yeah, how they literally are just like, oh yeah, strategic oil reserves. Biden empties them. Worst president, worst thing that's ever existed. Donald Trump does it. It's like, oh, it's so smart. 4D chess. 6D chess, 8D, it's so fucking, anyways, thank you so much, Tim. Thank you so much, Tim, I appreciate that. Yeah, but yeah, it'll last forever. We'll just empty them, and then we'll just re-empty them again in a month or so. Yeah, Corey, you can only make oil in the man's placenta. That is important.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah, it's in the man's placenta.
I love how my stalker followed me into your live, even though they're blocked. Fucking obsessed.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, most of the time on the plane we were just watching shit on this whole Drewski thing. Like the Drewski Erica Kirk thing, that's like all we were doing.
I still have to find that video because you had a hard time.
Dude, shit is so fucking funny, bro. And she's suing him. And it's just so
she's suing him, and then like the fact that JD Vance also said something, and it's just like, why are we trying so hard? Also, like, what did
Dude.
you lose? How are you? I assume she's suing him for defamation, and it's like, what's defamatory? And then you have to prove that you lost something.
Dude, JD Vance came to her defense talking about how like, oh, it's so bad and all sorts of stuff. And Drewski responded to it and was like, dude, why are you even joining in? Literally nobody defends someone this hard that they aren't freaking sleeping with.
Valid.
And it
That's
was
funny,
like,
he never said her name.
it's like, bro, you are giving your whole hand right now, bro. You are giving your whole hand. Dude. It's wild. That look he gave where he kept doing and that's why I hold the Bible.
The series.
Dude, I was dying. And then they showed the video of it.
Did you find it?
No, I didn't find it. JD Vance didn't defend Usha Vance that hard. Of course he didn't. Of course, she's brown, okay? I don't know why anyone thought that would happen.
Bro, are you love?
Yeah, maybe Usha's into it.
trying to
Hey,
do
I
it
don't judge, okay? We listen, we don't
it takes
judge,
work
all right?
to make an ottoman.
But like maybe she's into it. I don't know. Maybe she likes to watch. Okay? Maybe she likes to watch. What did he say originally? You guys haven't seen you guys had to have seen the video. Hello? I think that was an accident. Dude, he did a whole skit on it, and there's a video of like comparing him and her and what she's actually doing. It's wild.
It's so funny.
Vance and Usha are getting divorced before in the first quarter 2027. I don't believe that.
So
you know what I think is gonna happen? Like honestly, I think I'm not wishing this, so I'm not wishing this. Okay, I'm not. Okay, at all. I just think at some point before the 4 years of Trump presidency is up, she's gonna have an accident.
Oh.
You know, like the Epstein, like the cameras are gonna be shut off. And like, oh, we don't have any. There's no recording of anything, and then she's just gonna.
It's gonna be the 1 minute of missing footage that has always been missing at that exact same time slot.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want it to happen. Like I got very little issue with Usha. She stays out of the media. Whatever. I have no issue with the woman whatsoever, right? Besides, she's married to that fucking dipshit, right? Besides that, like I have no issues with her, right? I'm just saying, like I'm putting this on record. I'm gonna drop it, in what's today? March 29th. March 29th. I have it on record right now. If she gets into an accident in the next year or two, I'm posting this video up and saying I called it. And then JD Vance just falls into the arms of Erica Kirk.
I found the side by side.
Yeah, she'll go on a vacation, right? Like when you send like a puppy upstate or something. Yeah. AKA Drewski. Drewski's gonna be the new second lady.
I got the side by side. I'm putting it in your sources channel.
Just send it to me straight in Discord. Either way, I don't care. Yeah, she's gonna become the new special envoy to a place you've never heard of, and then Drewski takes over. Drewski 2028. That's what I can get behind. I can get behind
I want you to
that.
put it up there.
I can get behind that. Yo, if you still support Trump, you guys can call in or join the guest request box. But I'm probably not going to keep going like too far. It might be in.
Eric Kirk. No, I
You
sent
found
it
it on.
directly to
You found it on Twitter.
Twitter. Ugh.
Twitter. All right, let me put it on the screen. I think we might have someone to talk to, but I'll go put it on the screen. Oh, this is. Oh, this might be the.
On your feet, boy!
Slap him.
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all His children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country.
Guys, we only care about white male men.
Only white male. You know, the Postal Service has been a failing industry of the government.
It has been.
For a long time, you know. Erica,
Not
like
that
white
kind
male
of
men.
male, Erica.
White male men.
Like, think of lean
Yeah.
in backwards, okay?
Yeah,
Lean
white
in
male,
backwards.
like the guys who get chased by dogs, like mailmen. You know?
Yeah, the guys that, walk around with the bag over their shoulder and
Yeah,
in
yeah.
our basket or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mailman.
Your mailman is a woman. We don't care about your mailman that's a woman.
No.
Okay?
That's
It
a
has to
lie.
be
That's
a
untrue.
white-
It can't be. It has to be a man.
Male mailman.
Yeah, it's a man. That's a lie. Slander, libel, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm surprised they even let women be mailmen. Okay? It's like in the name.
Yeah, that's not allowed anymore. I mean, they are raising their prices. Did everybody see that? They're raising their cost of shipping.
Well, I assume they have to because oil prices are.
They are doing it to match to be competitive in pricing with everybody else because everybody else has raised their prices. It doesn't start until April 26th if it gets approved.
Thank goodness I have a white mailman.
Oh my God. I mean, that is the only person that Erica Kirk cares about. So if you're a white male man, you're okay.
Ours is actually a woman also.
RJ? Yeah, he is.
RJ, I said RJ's a woman.
My bad. RJ04, right? Yeah.
I said our male person is a woman.
Oh, my bad.
I don't think RJ's a
You heard it
woman.
here first. No, he's not. I was trying to joke.
Scott said, if Iran is at not a war, why no Department of Defense? Yeah, that was really crazy when they were like, it's not the Department of Defense, it's Department of War. We're going to change the name so that we do less war. And then it's like, people are like, oh my God, we got in a war? It's like, yeah. Like, fucking duh.
Because it was a lie.
Yeah. Anywho, y'all, I think I'm going to jump off. I was just trying to do a short live. I thought we were going to have another caller because I was just like, because the lines were blowing up for like the whole time. And then all of a sudden I go to actually take a caller and no one's there. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll be back on normal time around 7 p.m. So 8 p.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys, okay?
Okay,
See
bye.
you guys later. Bye.